No one in that diner noticed the old man's trembling hand until it was too late. The slap echoed louder than the clatter of plates, louder than the jukebox, louder than 81 years of sacrifice. And just when the thug smiled, convinced he had won, the front door opened, bringing with it the sound of leather creaking, heavy boots stopping, and a truth that would change every life in that room. Forever. What happened in that small roadside diner would remind everyone there that respect is never about strength, and karma never forgets. The diner sat off a lonely stretch of highway, the kind of place where time seemed to slow down. Cracked vinyl booths, coffee refilled without asking, and photographs of fallen soldiers lining one wall like silent guardians. Every morning at exactly 7:15, Walt Briggs sat in the same booth by the window. He ordered the same breakfast, black coffee, 2 eggs, toast he barely touched. His hands shook a little now, arthritis gnawing at joints that once held rifles steady in foreign lands. At 81, his back was bent, his hearing faded, but his eyes still carried the weight of a man who had seen too much and spoken too little. That morning felt ordinary until it was. The door burst open and in walked a younger man, mid-30s, loud, impatient, dragging chaos in with him. His name was Rick Dalton, though no one in the diner knew it yet. He slammed into chairs, barked orders at the waitress, and complained about the wait like the world owed him speed. When Walt accidentally brushed Rick's arm while standing to pay, coffee sloshing slightly, Rick exploded. "Watch it, old man," Rick snapped. Walt turned slowly, voice calm, almost apologetic. "Didn't mean to bother you, son." That word son hit Rick wrong. Something ugly twisted in his face. Maybe it was pride, maybe insecurity, maybe a lifetime of anger looking for a target that wouldn't fight back. Before anyone could react, Rick raised his hand and slapped Walt across the face. The diner froze. Walt stumbled, gripping the booth to stay upright. His glasses fell to the floor. The slap wasn't just physical. It was an insult to every year, every scar, every friend buried overseas. A waitress gasped. A man in the corner stood halfway up, unsure. No one moved fast enough. Rick laughed. "What are you gonna do about it?" Walt slowly straightened. His cheek burned, but his voice didn't rise. "I've been hit harder by men who knew why they were fighting," he said quietly. Rick scoffed, turning away as if the moment was over. But then the bell above the diner door rang again. Heavy footsteps entered. Boots. Leather. The smell of engine oil and road dust filled the room. Conversations died mid-sentence. One by one, heads turned. A tall man stood in the doorway, gray threaded through his beard. A Hell's Angels patch stretched across his leather vest. His eyes scanned the room, then locked onto Walt. The man froze. He said, his voice low and disbelieving. The room stopped breathing. When the thug realized who he had slapped, fear finally found him. But it was already too late to run from the truth. The man crossed the diner in long, deliberate strides. His name was Jack Briggs. To the world, he was a feared Hell's Angels road captain. To Walt, he was the son who left home at 17 and survived by carving his own brutal path. Jack knelt beside his father, picking up the fallen glasses with hands that had broken bones and throttles alike. "Who did this?" Jack asked softly, though everyone felt the danger behind the words. Walt touched his son's arm. "It's done, let it go." Rick backed away, face pale now. He recognized the patch. Everyone did. This wasn't a bar fight anymore. This was a reckoning. Jack stood and faced Rick. Silence pressed down hard. "You slapped my father," he said, "an 81-year-old war veteran." Rick stammered excuses. I didn't know, he bumped into me." Jack stepped closer, towering over him. "You don't hit people because you're angry, you don't hit the old, and you never hit someone who's earned more respect than you ever will." Rick expected fists, violence. That's how his world worked. But Jack didn't touch him. Instead, Jack turned to the room. "My father taught me something before I became what I am," he said. "He taught me that real strength is restraint." Jack looked back at Rick. "You're going to apologize, not because you're scared of me, but because you're ashamed of yourself." Rick's hands shook. Slowly, painfully, he nodded. He faced Walt. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I was wrong." Walt studied him for a long moment, then he nodded once. "Learn from it," he said. "That's all." Jack paid for every meal in the diner that day. Before leaving, he hugged his father tightly, something neither man did often. As the motorcycles roared away, the diner felt different. Lighter changed. That slap meant to humiliate had revealed something far greater, that dignity outlives strength, that respect echoes longer than violence, and that no matter how far we wander, the values planted in us never truly disappear. And somewhere deep inside Rick Dalton, something cracked open too, a lesson learned not through fear but through mercy. You never know the story behind the person in front of you. Every wrinkle, every scar, every quiet seat in a diner carries a lifetime. Choose respect, because the smallest act can awaken the strongest truths.